All right, in this video, we're going to talk about DH parameters, the difference between modified and standard, frame assignment procedure, the different types of parameters, the DH parameter transformation, and I'll go through an example. You can follow along with my docs and some more advanced examples, link in the video description. Okay, so DH parameters. DH stands for Dennevit-Hartenberg. So these parameters are used to determine the frame locations on a serial link robot. So a serial link robot is something that has joints like this that's connected between with links. So it has to be in this configuration where it's one joint, one link, one joint, one link. When there's several joints, for example, like this, that go to some base, these types are called parallel type of manipulators, and the DH parameters don't typically apply for something like this. So the key requirement is that it's going to be a serial link robot. So let's take a look at the difference between standard and modified DH parameters. So you want to make sure you're choosing the right convention. So on the first column here is going to be standard. The second one is going to be the modified. And some of the main difference is the frame I attachment. So for the standard, it's going to be I+1. Modified is at joint I. The transformation order is also going to be a little bit different. We have the link parameters index. So on the distal frame is I. For the modified, it's going to be I-1 here, you can see. And then it's common in these textbooks like Spong's textbook, MATLAB, Robotics Toolbox. For the modified, it's going to be in the most popular textbook, Craig's textbook. That's the one that I went through most of it through college. That's a pretty common one. And then the parameter tables, you're going to see is going to be basically the same structure, but it's just the way it's referenced is different. So we could see the frame assignment procedure. This is going to be the procedure that we will follow. So this is going to be for the modified DH parameters. All of this will make more sense when we go through an example, but I'll just quickly walk through the steps. So first you want to place the origin. We're going to be using the common perpendicular, and then we want to define the ZI axis, which is going to be along the joint axis I. We have the XI axis. This is going to typically be the common perpendicular. And if the axes intersect, it's going to be normal to the plane they form. And then the YI axis by the right-hand rule. So if you have like X here, right, and then Z here, then we know that X curl to Y, Z is up. So by right-hand rule, we have Y is going this way. So just use the right-hand rule to get the last axes. And then another thing that they typically do to simplify some of the math is you want to make sure the zero frame, base frame matches the first frame at the initial configuration. And you typically want to choose the N so that you have as many zeros as possible so that the math is as simple as possible. So there's four main parameters. We have right here, link length. We have the A parameter. We have link twist, alpha, link offset, DI, and then the joint angle theta. So these the subscripts here just tell us, the different relative frames that we're looking at. That's kind of how they defined it. So it's defined as the first one is the distance from the z-axis along the x. The next one is the angle between the z-axis about the x-axis. The link offset is going to be the distance between the x-axis along the z-axis, and then the joint angle is going to be the angle from the two x-axis about the z. So DH transformation matrix, this is going to be computed for each one that we had. We're going to create a transformation matrix. So when we create a table with all the parameters, we're essentially going to do a series of rotation, translation, rotation, and translation with the parameters that we found. So if you go through the process and plug it into the different matrices and multiply it out, this right here is the final result that we get. So this is the transformation matrix that will describe your transformation from one frame, if we call this like frame 0, to the next frame, which we might call frame 1. So this is going to be the transformation matrix that's going to define the transform between each joint on a serial robot. And note here we have some shorthand. Cx is going to be cosine, Sx is going to be sine. So it's just a shorthand to write the sine and cosines to make it look more compact. So a lot of the theory can be applied in practice if you start doing projects. So I'll leave some link in the video description where you could get some of the fundamentals of robotics and AI and some projects that you can get started with. All right, now for an example. So this is a 2RR, meaning there's 2 revolute joints. We have our first one right here, and this is our second one. So it's a 2RR robot. Right here is in a 3D view. So you can see we have defined our frame 1 for joint 1, frame 2 for joint 2. And then these blue here is our axes that we're going to be referencing later on. So this is a 2D view now, so making a 2D to kind of see the axes a little bit better. So we see that we define our x-axis here pointing to the next z-axis, and there's this second x-axis pointing to the tool end. And then the y-axis here, you can see we just defined it using the right-hand rule. So this is our frame assignment using the procedure. And you can see from here, we want to define our 0 frame. So this right here is our 0 frame. We just made it basically orthogonal to the page just to keep it simpler. And then theta 1 is going to be some rotation once there's an angle theta. So we also added a tool end here. You can see this right here. This is our frame 3. And what we did is to keep it simple and make sure the x-axis is pointed in the same direction. So that kind of simplifies some of the math later on. And this right here, you can see this is our next one. This is where we're going to define some of the parameters. So we have our theta 1 here, theta 2 here. This will describe the joint rotation of each of the joints. And we also define some new lengths here, L1 and L2. So this is going to use all of these parameters later on to define our DH parameters. So if we fill out the table, this is what it's going to look like. You can see that we have 1, 2, 3. This 3 is going to be the tool end. So notice that this one is just angle 0 for theta. The active joints here are theta 1 and theta 2 because they contribute to the actual joint motion. So these we will leave in variables. And then we have right here, these are the offsets between the different joints 2 and the tool end. Now, if we take our equation from the transformation matrix from previously and take all the parameters and plug it in, we will get our 3 transformation matrix, T01, T12, and T23. So all of these transformation matrix will describe the transformation between the different frames. And the most important part is we could use this result to do some of the 4 kinematics later on. But if you want some more advanced examples of the UR robots DH parameter in ROS, I have some more examples of that. You could check it out in the link in the video description. But in my next video, I'm going to talk about the 4 kinematics using some of the results in this video. Now, if you're new here, my name is Kevin. I've been doing robotics and AI for 10 plus years and have lots of resources on my channel. And you want to make sure to join my Builders membership here. Just come up here, click join. It's going to be the second one. This is where you get all of my deep dive videos on all the projects and resources for this course where I go into more advanced examples in ROS. All right, see you next time.